Hey y'all, I'll be reacting to Digimon 2020 episode 12, and as a heads up, I'm starting my reaction from the 2 minute and 5 second mark in 1-0 go. And I actually don't mind a mini focused episode. I'm actually really pumped up for this because out of all the characters, she's the one that this is one that probably needs the most exploration. Save for me, potentially Joe. So actually, I'm really digging this. Considering their terrible circumstances, don't get me wrong, almost anyone in their spot would be less than comfortable. But Luminon blooms. But considering she's made the most complaints, this type of episode she's by herself could actually be a humbling type of episode for her, all things considered. And it's a shame that Paloma doesn't have any transformations where she can just digivolve and fly up, although it looks like that's sealed off, so even if she was able to... Oh, so it's a distance issue then. Damn. And saying that, I actually like her positivity there. Because instead of just complaining about the peculiar circumstances, she's trying to find a way of actually getting out of the situation. So that's actually pretty nice. Oh. Huh. Okay, that's all those armor-looking Digimon in that picture that was in Koshio's laptop. It's not giving me good vibes because I have a feeling if those things self-activate, that's going to be a lot of potential falls for Taichi and his friends. Thankfully, though, going off of the preview, even if Mimi is cornered, Pomemon's going to have another Digivolution, so at least they got Fat Trunk Guard there to work with. I hope for their sake that's not the corpse of a Digimon or the remains. Oh, I think why not? There was a nice looking Digimon too that showed up to a system. Oh snap. Yo, I mean, if I were I'd apologize while just backing the fuck away, because that, that thing looks like a... Yo, it even has like the Terminator eye, like eyes too, with like the red coloring. Just give me those. Yeah. If I were to hear something say those words, I would run the fuck away. And that right there, that's actually something that Mimi has to improve on, because if Taichi or Yamato were in that spot, they would instantly dodge or try to avoid the attack. But I actually like that because it does give Mimi room to grow. Because all things considered, not everyone's in the group is going to be on point from an emotional standpoint. At least not from the get-go. Oh! And that's just just with a single punch, and it even hit the glove of Togemon. What the? Okay, that Digimon has to be ultimate level, because in order to do that in like one hit, oh, I'm gonna think they're gonna be saved by that nice looking Digimon that we see in the preview, because there's no way they're gonna die. You know, like she's way too important. Fuck yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Although it would have been a nice surprise if Toei didn't spoil it in the preview, though. Don't get me wrong. Previews are nice, but that's what I mean when I'm like, when I said last week, oh man, Toei spoiled the surprise. Now we know that Togemon's gonna Digivolve and that there's gonna be a nice Digimon that's gonna save him. That's what I mean where totally something spoils a bit too much in episode previews. Going by that, Gardemone's gonna be on their side, considering the more blue neutral. Aww, so that's it. Since she actually cleaned him up and all that. And I actually like that too, where you see Mimi's kindness actually work in her favor. And fitting name too, considering the first thing Gardemone's gonna do is guard the person that wakes him up. His name is actually quite ironic. Oh, it's a cute little missile. Should it be running away though? I mean, I guess that Digimon that's going against them is probably too strong, so Gardemone's probably escaping. Because if he had to do all that just for an elaborate trap, I'm gonna assume that deep down he knows that the Digimon after them ain't no joke. Oh, okay. Ah, just got the luxury of Tentamon there. But hey, it makes sense though, because Koshiro isn't exactly the most athletic and knife in the shed, so it makes sense. So, unlike the others who would actually need to be flattened down and stop. Actually, like, this is a quiet moment, because we can see how much Mimi cherishes Palamon as she's wiping her and cleaning her up, tending to her wounds. Aww. That flower scene was damn sweet. Oh man, I hope nothing happens to Gardevoir. Yeah, that smile Mimi has is definitely more protect. I thought for a second it was gonna blush. I hope Gardevoir can join their group. We don't even see him in the anime opening at all. Yeah. I had a feeling it was going to take more to take that dude out. Because if a Togemon punch wasn't even enough to phase him, other than a chandelier-like object falling upon that dude wasn't going to do a squat either. It was just going to slow him down. Hey, is Joe becoming a Yamamoto fanboy? Oh man, I wouldn't blame him though. Yamamoto is a badass. I swear, those certain bird mons should be called snitch mons. The amount of information they transfer to other people, because geez, they're everywhere. Yeah, they're gonna have the Digivolves. Not like they're gonna have a choice. Oh, hell yeah! This right here. I know I've seen this transformation like this one probably 20 of times in the 20s, but I never get sick of it. Never. Especially since it's short and to the point too. Yo, why did it sound like oh, I was gonna say, why did it even bother? And I guess why it was trying to make time so that they can take Bertamon and Mimi. You know what? That's actually smart. Gotta admit, because the action sequences actually smartly progress the plot. Yo, kind of reminds me of Terminator 2 when they try to close the elevator on the Terminators and the Terminator just opens the elevator. Definitely gives me those vibes. And I like the design too. Gardemont's missile had a face with softer features. This Digimon had its missiles don't even have a face. They look precisely made to kill, much more efficient, and a lot more of rougher design. So I like how, even from the character design standpoint, you can even get a feeling of who's actually stronger. From how. Oh no, I don't want to see another Orgamon situation. No. Okay, at least he wasn't cut in half. Oh no. Garamon, he went down like a boss. Fuck. If only they would have shown up earlier, but you know, I can't blame them. They were distracted by the sound. Garamon, asshole. Can't blame him one bit. Just bad luck. Oh, that's sweet. I like that selfishness. First thing she thinks about is Mimi's well-being and safety. That is adorable. Yeah, I had a feeling it was ultimate. I mean, even if the episode wouldn't have said it, just the power levels alone made it apparent the moment he was able to push back Togemon that easily with just a single fist. With just one hit. Oh. Okay, that confirms it then. That thing's mission, I thought for a second it was just to aim for the humans. And the Digimon, but no, we see it's just the humans. It's pretty savage there. It's probably not gonna do anything. Yeah. Unless our Greymon can go into Metal Greymon right now, there is no effing way they're gonna win this. And I'm assuming at this point he can't Digivolve into Metal Greymon at will because he would have done it by now. Oh wait! What was that? Okay, I was not expecting this. Yes, even the insert song. That's how you know shit's real in this series. Whenever you got an insert song about to play, that's when you know the villain is fighting the protagonist is fucked. Or not. Huh? Wait. Okay, if that thing is Ultimate Digimon, that's like the first time we see one of our double Digimon protagonists actually struggle against an Ultimate Digimon. Finally gets a hit. Although I'm going to assume that only knocked him to the floor. It's going to take more. physical pain than that because we don't even see its metal dissipate. We don't even see scratches on its body. Yeah, if I were Metal Grandma, I would have just thrown more of my Alpine missiles at it instead of just give it time to get up from the floor. I would not have given it time to breathe. I'd have just been spamming the fuck out of every single energy blast I can. Yo, Metal Grandma should have been doing that earlier. She would not have waited literally like 30 seconds for the enemy to get up. And I actually like it too, the fool's willing to play dirty to get an advantage when the numbers are against them. It actually shows you how smart some of the antagonists in the series actually are. Oh snap. I'm assuming now this is the time that Pokemon's going to Digimon. Because there's no way. Yeah, had a film there would be no... Okay, now that's a surprise. Yo, even he shot. I just hope for his sake they can Digivolve at the very least. Oh no, this is giving me Android 16 vibes all. No. Yeah, this is giving me Android 16 vibes when Cell smashes 16 and right in front of Gohan vibes. And pretty fitting too, since they both, this and Dragon Ball Z were done by Toei. That man he fucked up. He dug his grave. Oh man. Oh, damn! I haven't seen Minion Rage. Yeah, that's sending shivers right now. And that right there is character development too, because this is the first time we've seen her suffer through legitimately huge loss here. So this is definitely one of the best ones for Mimi there. Yo, the animation for this Lilymon looks beautiful. Beautifully done. And this is the way she's just dodging the attacks just gracefully, without even a single resemblance of struggle. Yo, I wonder if those pedals are going to actually affect its programming. Because we're starting to see his line of sight affected. Oh. Whoa, that noise he made when he's like, oh, it sounded like it's about to completely wet himself. Oh goodness. At least for a bit. Aww. That is a glorious way of finishing off the fight though. In a unique way too, because usually whenever we see a Digimon take on another Digimon, they usually dissipate in data. Here I actually like the contrast where he's covered in like yeah, even though the victory is really, really a happy one because they have a new evolution, it's just sad that they suffered a really damn huge loss. That explains why Andromon had like normal looking eyes. And near the end of the battle, And I like that bit of maturity there. She cried for a bit, and then when she realizes that she can't be crying anymore, she goes straight ahead, trying to tackle on the foes. I like that. That is fantastic character development for Mimi. I'm gonna rate this one straight up an 8.75 out of 10. I loved it. The reason why I didn't give it a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10 is because you can tell the animation, it was a bit restrained this episode. You can tell that when it comes to Lilymon, tell we didn't put as much. We're kind of like last week's episode too, where for Garurumon, you can tell the animation quality again was restrained. But for the most part, I thought it worked from an emotional standpoint. Because the main transformation for Lilymon herself looked good. And the finishing move that Lilymon did against Andromon looked really nice. So there were, even though the animation was less than spectacular, it was still good. Just not to the standards of, say, like of the first 2 Digimon episodes and the middle Greymon episode, like the very, very first one. Not to those standards, but it still looked pretty damn good. Oh, baby time. Oh, silence. It's Fear Monster now. Oh, okay. Now, this is nice. This is nice. Now, as for other things that I thought I liked about this episode too, I actually really liked the horrible moments with Gardamon, because even though Gardamon didn't exactly speak, he didn't have to. He carried the episode emotionally with the simple touches like the flower scene, or even that scene where he had Mimi in his sights and Mimi was colored in like a blue shading type tone. I like that. And even in his final moments, the last thing he thought about was protecting Mimi. So I thought Gardamon, even though he was there for a singular episode, I thought he was quite impactful. And it gave the episode an emotional touch because it made the bond between Gardamon and Mimi really damn sweet. It only made the moment where Mimi got angry and she pretty much caused Togwan to digivolve into Lilymon much more epic. It definitely had a lot of emotional gravitas. So that's why I thought this episode did spectacular from a story standpoint, you know, because it was really touching when Gardamon passed away. And on top of that, I even like how you see snippets of foreshadowing, because with Andromon, since Lilymon did surround him with like natural looking wildlife, plant life, I should say, I feel like it's showing that Andromon can become a potential ally. Because considering the fact that they didn't mention that Gardamon and Andromon were friends before Andromon was completely reprogrammed, I'm going to assume that means that there is a small chance he might show up in a future episode. Just because I don't think they'd be putting in that throwaway line for nothing. So that's another thing I felt the episode going for it. It's opening up potential interesting plot points. And on top of that, I like how you see Mimi mature in this episode. At the end of it, after she feels lost, it made me feel for her, and it made her into a much more spectacular character. Kind of would have wished that it had a bit more lines of dialogue for Palamon, though, considering that Palamon was also protected by Gardamon. I feel like Philly missed a chance to have Palamon react to things. Because Mimi's reaction was beautiful. I would have loved to see Palamon's reaction. Because all the other episodes, they've done a good job of detailing the dynamic between Taichi and Agumon, or even Garurumon and Yamamoto for the most part. And I was kind of expecting this episode was going to continue that trend, but it just completely threw away Palamon to the wayside. So that's the only thing I felt they could have improved. Oh, and the fight between Andromon and Metal Greymon. You would think that the moment Andromon was on the floor, Metal Greymon was going to just unleash attack. I'm wondering, where did that aggressivity go that we saw from Metal Greymon? Not even that long ago. It was like in episodes 9 and 10 where we saw him on constant attack mode. And I feel like this episode kind of made it Agumon a bit inconsistent with how he usually is. Usually in fights he's super aggressive, trying to constantly get the tactical advantage. Here you don't get that. So that's what keeps this episode being an 8.75 out of caliber episode instead of like a 9 or a 9.5 as a caliber. For things like that. But I'd say for the most part this episode had way more pros than cons. And that's what I feel overall. It was a great episode. I even thought all the voice actors and actresses, especially Mimi's actress, fought her game. And that's why I thought it was still great, despite its weak points. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on Digimon Adventure 2020 episode 12. Be sure to comment your thoughts and how you feel about my reaction in the comment section below. Rate the video, share it, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys later if you come back for more, because I'm definitely pumped to see what the 13th episode's got. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Have a great, fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.